What's up, guys? My name is Frontier, and welcome back to the channel. I do appreciate you all being here. Well, it looks like Highguard has put out a new patch with a very interesting update. If you guys don't know, Highguard is the new 3v3 PvP raid shooter developed by Wildlight Entertainment. It was released last Monday on the day of recording this video. Highguard was met with overwhelmingly negative criticism. I mean, no joke. When I say not even 2 hours after release, people were flaming this game because of how little effort went into it. I mean, it was unbelievable how much negative reviews were left on Steam. But let's see what those responses were. One user said, quote, "This game should be labeled as a beta. There is no way this is their production version." I feel that. Highguard feels, above all, like a confusing game. The 3v3 format on such a huge map just doesn't click for me, and the overall experience becomes chaotic without bringing anything new to the table. And after reading all of them, this is by far my favorite one. If you were to toss Overwatch 2, Apex Legends, Valorant, Rainbow Six Siege, and any generic survival shooter into a pot, but specifically only the worst parts about them, you'd get Highguard. And he's right. I mean, this game on launch just had all of the worst parts about those games put into one, and I hate to be so negative about it, but it's true. Like, there's no way that this should have been a game that released. It just brought nothing new to the table. But you get the point. People were criticizing the hell out of this game, and for good reason. I myself played this game on launch and got through 4 games, and I didn't feel like playing it again. My biggest complaint with the game was that the maps were way too big for a 3v3. I mean, hell, 95% of the time, you wouldn't even encounter a player unless it was at the shield breaker spawn or bases. It felt like the game had no substance. It didn't bring anything new to the genre. It didn't you know, exercise on anything that, or it didn't capitalize on exercise, sorry. It didn't capitalize on anything other games were doing. And I understand it was supposed to be its own, different take on the genre. We never had a game like this before, but nothing was new about it, you know? My other big complaint with the game are the guns. Lord have mercy, these guns are painfully bland and forgettable. With other games, you have weapons that are unique and fun to use, but these guns are just ordinary and soulless. I actually uninstalled the game after I was done because it was just way too boring. Like I said earlier, this thing brings nothing new to the table. And, with other games like Rainbow Six Siege and Overwatch, you have guns that feel cool and they feel amazing and they're really fun to use. However, that does bring us to the patch that the game got. Now, as one user said earlier, that Wildlight's been adding bug fixes and just patches to the game to make it, one, run smoother, but two, help the overall performance. This one did something much different. So they actually added an experimental 5v5 mode because the devs actually listened to us, and a lot of the responses on Steam or in any other website said that, again, the maps are too big, the teams are too small. So they actually added an experimental 5v5 playlist. And I have to be honest, I was not expecting Wildlight to come out and openly state that they have listened to the feedback and gave us what we wanted. I mean, as I said earlier, you know the biggest complaint with the game was that 3v3 was too small for the maps. I ended up hopping on and playing for a few games last night. The background gameplay you see was from one of those games. Just don't pay attention to my horrible aim. And to be honest, I was actually pleasantly surprised. With 4 extra players total being added, 2 on each team, it helped make the games more lively and engaging. I was now getting into fights much earlier and often into the games. Like, I'm talking about, I'm getting into matches, or I'm getting into fights like a minute and a half into the game, where 3v3, I was maybe getting into a fight 3 to 3.5 minutes into the game, you know? So it made the games, it didn't make the games feel like a slog. They actually felt really good compared to 3v3. The games also weren't a total blowout. When you play 3v3, the game could go one of two ways. Either your team dominates or their team dominates. The games were actually much closer than before, and it felt fun and enjoyable. Don't get me wrong, some games will still be a blowout depending on the teams, and the guns are still bland and boring, but this is a great step in the right direction. At the time of recording this video, Highguard has gone from mostly negative to mixed reviews on Steam, which I think is a huge step up. So let's see what people have to say about the game now after the update. This user said, quote, game was a wasteland with the 3v3 mode. 5v5 is absolutely a better pace and actually brings purpose to the farming and looting side of the game. W devs for not blaming the community and actually listening. Definitely worth at least trying and forming your own opinion. Next one is game is actually fun if you don't have someone in your ear telling you it isn't. 5v5 makes this game 1,000 times better. I would agree. Devs are making updates every few hours, adding performance fixes, bug patches, new 5v5, etc. You can see the devs actually care about player reviews and work off of them. Game is also fun with friends. Those were only some of the reviews left on the game from yesterday. But as you can see, people are enjoying the 5v5 mode. I think it's great that devs actually listened and didn't turn a blind eye. While, yes, there are still problems with the games feel much more enjoyable and fun to play. The next thing they need to add are some new guns because using the same guns over and over again gets boring real quick. Wildlight has also released a roadmap with updates coming every 2 months. So the devs are really driving home that Highguard ain't going anywhere anytime soon. I do recommend you go try the game out for yourself and come to your own conclusion. Who knows? You may end up really liking the game, and of course, it is free, so that's always a good thing. Well, that seems to be it for all the Highguard news and information. I'm not sure if I'll upload Highguard content consistently, but will definitely be a game that I will continue to pay attention to. With that being said, I believe that's all I have. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I will continue to leave the gameplay going just so you can see it. Um, but that seems to be it for today. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and be sure to check out my Twitch. That link will be down below in the description. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.
Listen up, group. No.
I'm reloading!
Hostile silenced.
Yeah.
Calling.
Picking up nothing. Eyes on enemies weak.
Fired up!
Drop the shield breaker. Pick it up, team. 2 enemies remain, team. Take them out.
Down!
Shield breaker. Thank you. That was just perfect.
Mounting up. That's right.
Soul severed.
Opening fire!
That way. Big weak point marked. Get the shield breaker.
Reloading.
Calling in the siege
Hostile
tower.
silenced.
We have enemies nearby. Location locked. Calling in siege tower.
Taking damage.
We're at your door, and we're ready to make history.
All right, buddies.
Firestorm locked and loaded.
We cracked the dome. Get in there.
Firebomb out!
Scanning for enemies. We have enemies nearby.
You!
Someone down! Planting a thumper charge. Picking up some back.
Generator destroyed. Keep moving. Bomb planted. This is it. Defend it, and we're out.
Got that. Let's focus up.
Honest mother! Thumper
Oh,
charge
we
planted. Taking damage. They're shooting at me!
Light release. Eyes up.
Ready
Enemies
to bring
are
the storm.
been down.
Bringing the thunder!
Firestorm charged.
Under attack!
We have enemies nearby.
Soul severed.
Soul
Edge to soul.
Got some baddies.
Reloading.
Mark. Hiding in plain sight. Eyes up. Enemies are near. Looking for loot.
One hell of a fight. Land secured. Great work, team.